We rapid speed down to 2,500.
Good point. We're heavy. Reduce speed to 180.
Blackbox.
Hey everyone, welcome back to KP's Blackbox. Today we got a special episode here with Mr. Cody Hines.
Yes,
Cody,
sir.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You ready to do a shot too?
Yeah, it's going to make me shiver, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, shiver away.
Yeah.
So this podcast today, what we're doing is we're going to go back and have a conversation about Prince,
About Prince.
or AKA Prince,
Yeah.
and the Revolution,
And the Revolution.
Paisley Park, and
All of it.
Yeah. Here's why. For us, this little small podcast, the comments that I made in an estate planning podcast made it go viral, Cody.
Yeah.
According to the stats,
According to the stats, with our followers,
less than
and all of
10,000
that,
followers.
yeah, we
We hit a viral topic.
viral moment.
Prince,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Prince.
You know, one of my favorite artists of all time.
He's one of mine too. Great guitarist. Great
And you, as a
music.
musician,
Mhm.
can appreciate the talent that
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy.
He's
had.
all self-taught too. Yeah.
That's
It's-
even more. And there was no YouTube when Prince was growing up,
No.
so
He's
crazy
he's
to
the
think
man.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Prince was born and raised and kept his studio
Mm-hmm.
in Minneapolis,
Mm-hmm.
and he unfortunately passed away.
Right.
And the cause and effect of that was he died without an estate plan.
Mm-hmm.
And man, when we published that and put that out,
People jumped on it.
yeah,
They
a
jumped right
lot of comments,
Yeah.
and the thousands we're at now.
Yeah, I think we have, comment-wise, I think we're at like 200 comments.
Oh,
We have
200 comments.
200 comments. I think we have about like just under 1,800 likes.
1,800. Okay, I
Yeah.
misspoke. I don't know this shit. So. I just talk and see what happens, right?
And
So,
something happened. So,
So Cody's really, and Jacob, who's back in the control room,
yeah.
they make this happen. So shout out to you guys. You
Thank you.
do a great job with it. But I mean, we were really just wanting to share information about how estate planning
How important
works,
it is. Yeah.
how the law works within estate planning. I'm not an attorney, but I've been in this business for 31 years as a financial professional, helping people move from where they are to where they want to be financially,
Right.
and making the best decisions possible with the information that we have. Prince had all the information.
Yeah.
Prince had attorneys all around him.
Mm-hmm.
He had professionals all around him, but they can't make him. It's like the old saying: you can make a horse go to the water,
Yeah.
but you can't make him drink.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
You want to hear some other sayings like "tighter in Dick's headband"? You like some of my
Yeah.
old country sayings, so
Yeah.
I can throw some more out.
I have a
today.
rolling list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll spare you guys today.
Well, different episode.
Yeah, different episode.
Yeah.
Kennyisms.
So, yeah, Kennyisms.
So this is a follow-up podcast to the
Yeah.
to the issues with Prince. But before we dive into that, Cody, one of the things that you know is super, super important to me has always been serving our veterans and shouting out our veterans. And not only our veterans, but our active duty military personnel, our first responders, those people who have chosen a career of servitude.
Right.
Specifically for us, the military, because where we're really our main operation here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where Kenneth Porter and Company resides, 70% plus of our client base has some military affiliation.
Right.
I'm a prior Marine, jarhead, crayon eater, whatever you want to call me. And man, I loved my time in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I loved that period of time. It felt very patriotic. It felt a duty to serve. And I didn't have any direction in my life at that time, and the
Right.
Marine Corps really gave me direction.
Yeah.
It did for me what competitive sports did on steroids.
Right.
And also learned some pretty cool skill sets along the way to
Yeah.
protect myself, my family. So fucking try to come in my house.
I'm not doing nothing.
If the
of
dog doesn't
sorts.
get you, I got time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
all I need is a little bit of time.
Yeah,
I'm a little slower now
but
in
still,
my 50s, but
faster than most.
and lighter. Lost a little bit of weight,
Yeah, you did.
training again.
Mm-hmm.
That started with the OD on a trip that we were on.
That
It was our
scary.
hangover trip.
Yeah, yeah, literally. What
And
happened?
I hung over on thyroid medicine
Yeah.
and tried to kill myself. Not on purpose. But anyways, we're digressing
Yeah.
here. But the point being is to say to you veterans and those of you in active duty serving your country, we are very, very thankful for your service and will be eternally grateful to you. And those that have made the ultimate sacrifice, we want to toast you. Not only are we toasting you, but we're toasting you with 4 Branches bourbon. A good friend of mine, shout out to Harold Underdown, who came on our show last May. And at the end of our episode, we teased Harold with a taste test, and he agreed to do it on camera, no cuts, no editing.
No, nothing.
And we said, if you're really this founder, you're this bourbon guy,
Let's see.
then do a taste test.
Yeah. Put him on the spot.
Put him on the spot, and he agreed to do it. So Jake brought out, I don't even know what bourbons he brought out, but he brought out 3 bourbons, one of them 4 Branches.
Yeah.
And then he tried to trick him, and he brought a scotch out.
Yep.
Thank you. And Harold picked that right out of the
Immediately.
gate. Yeah. He was like, oh, this is peaty.
He did it
This-
off smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely off smell.
Yeah.
So we'll have to put that link, Jake, back in the episode where we can show why we're toasting 4 Branches bourbon until May. And then maybe we do another taste test again and see if
if he
Harold
can
can do
hold
it 2 in a row.
Another,
Can he hold the record?
another year of shout outs?
But I think it's just super important to make sure that we honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
And to let them know that, hey, you're not forgotten. So to that thought, cheers to you, to all of our families out there who are currently making the sacrifice.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff going on over in the Med right now. There's a lot of stuff that happened a few months, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
December.
Yep.
Back in Venezuela.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? When you want to FAFO with the Americans,
You'll find out.
then you're going to find out. So cheers. We love you guys. Thank you. We appreciate you. You know, speaking about love, Prince had a lot of songs about love.
He did.
I think one of the things to remember from a guy like him is, you know, to love radically, to love emotionally, to love unconditionally, you know, all of those things that we even see in Scripture.
Yeah.
And love can have different meanings. Right? Do you know that? Do you remember that from your biblical training, like the different types of love?
There's like the unconditional, there's the brotherly friendship love.
Like Philadelphia?
Yep. There's the agape.
And then I said the other day, like fellatio, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's the act of giving.
Yeah. Yeah. That is funny.
So I was like, wait, no,
Yeah, hold on.
Different kind of love.
Yeah, exactly.
But what are they?
There's agape.
Agape?
There's the phileo.
Phileo?
And then
Maybe that's what I was trying to say, and I ended
Yeah.
up saying fellatio.
yeah, there's the phileo,
Oh my
and
God.
then I think there's 1 or 2 more, but I'm actually blanking on those.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Prince sang about a lot
lot
of those
of them,
types. Maybe more of the sexual butter.
yeah.
You know,
Something like
he
that.
got a little risque with it. There was one song he did called Darling Nikki.
Oh yes.
That one is pretty risque. It's on the Purple Rain album.
Yep.
But that album in and of itself, and then there was a movie,
Mm-hmm.
Purple Rain.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, one of the people who spoke up on the podcast, or not on the podcast, on the Instagram post, was Apollonia.
Yep.
So Apollonia, if you're watching this, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to hear your opinion. of what happened in the Prince estate. I'm going to give you the facts today as I know them.
Yep.
Through the research that we've done, through the court records that have been made available.
Yeah.
Part of which, by the way, if you do not have an estate that's held in trust,
Yep.
your estate's public.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So that's the first thing we got to talk about. Your estate now is made public because if you pass intestate, Minnesota had a will for Prince.
Yeah.
And that will basically said, hey, the state doesn't know who your rightful heirs are going to be.
Right.
So we're going to go through this court process to decide for you.
We're going to figure it out. Yeah.
And other institutions like, I can't remember the bank, Comica or Comica Bank, maybe you pronounce it. I don't remember the bank. But there was a bank in Minnesota who held some of the assets, had a lien or he had a loan
Right.
against those assets. And so they had a big stake in the valuation, the
Right.
value of his estate.
Right.
The bank, guess what they want the value to be? As low as possible.
Yeah.
Then there's another entity called the federal government, specifically the Internal Revenue Service. Guess what the Internal Revenue Service would like the value to be?
As high as possible.
As high as possible.
Yeah.
And then there's those out there who was saying, well, Prince's estate, was worth a lot more than
What was on paper?
156 million.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that.
Right.
But when you got institutions involved and the family can no longer speak for the institution
Right.
or speak up for the institution called Prince,
Right.
that leads to problems. And so the reality is that Prince died without a will. He had died without an estate plan. It's very sad. But he's not alone in that boat, Cody.
Right.
How many people have you seen come through our firm, just through the workshops and through the conversations that we have with wealthy people, and I'm saying 7 figures plus?
Right.
How many people have you seen since you've been with me less than a year now, but
A year next month.
okay. Is it really?
Yeah.
Coming up a year?
30th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
You're having fun.
How many people in that year, by percentage, in your mind's eye, this is non-scientific.
Right.
but
Right. Right.
You've seen hundreds of people come through my door.
Oh, yeah.
What percentage of those do you think came in without a will?
I would say upwards of 75%.
You're
Probably
bingo.
more. Yeah.
I would concur 100% with that.
Yeah.
That these are people with significant assets,
Mm-hmm.
enough to matter. If they were to pass, it would be a significant windfall to their heirs if it makes it to them.
If it even gets there,
Right.
which is kind of like what we saw with the information with Prince.
Exactly.
He
what
had all
happened.
of that, and then only a small amount got left to his heir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went through some of these comments.
Mm-hmm.
What stood out to you from the overwhelming majority of people that posted, reposted, commented? What do you think was top of mind with most people?
I think top of mind for most people, they were shocked that a person of that caliber, because Prince was very detailed in the
Yeah.
details of everything in his life, music, all of it, that he didn't have that finished. Like they're
Yeah.
in disbelief that
Yeah.
that's how it turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the reality. Let's speak to that for a minute and kind of walk you through how that could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So as I shared with you earlier, as a financial professional, I've been in the financial services industry now 31 years,
Mhm.
going on 32. And, I've had some significant training along the way. I'm very blessed in that way. But what I have found to be true is that people focus on what they do as a profession and what they do well, and they get very hyper-focused.
Yeah.
And then procrastination sets in on everything else.
Yeah.
I think simply what happened with Prince is that he became hyper-focused on music, hyper-focused on production,
Mhm.
writing, performing, and surrounding himself with very artistic people. In 31 years in this industry, I've been fortunate enough to actually work with people in the music business. My best friend in high school, who we'll give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Mr. Dave Hummel. Dave's actually been on one of our podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, years ago, man, this is probably 30 years ago. I was a rookie in the business. Introduced me to two of the biggest producers on the planet. And we'll give a shout out to the Neptunes.
Yeah.
All right, right here in Virginia Beach. Those guys are awesome. They're going through some legal stuff right now, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right. I don't work with them one-on-one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Pharrell, shout out to Chad.
Yeah.
Chad Hugo. Great human beings, good people. And in the early days when I was having conversations with these guys, same thing. There was no will or estate in place. They were young.
Right.
18, 19, 20 years old. And the last thing you're going to think about is drafting a will.
Yeah.
Drafting a revocable living trust as a baseline.
Especially at that age. Like
Yeah.
even in our meeting, it's like, hey, we need
Yeah.
to do it. Especially if we have people in our life.
Right.
You know?
That's not going to happen to me. I'm young.
I'm young.
It doesn't-
I have time.
And then what happens is that procrastination, if it's not going to happen now, and statistically they're probably right.
Right.
And well, both of them are still living today, so they
Yeah.
are right. But along the way, life gets busy. Everything's coming at you at hyper speed. And it's really, really easy to let your estate plan take the back seat. Because as Jeff Olson, who's a great coach and great writer, he wrote a book called The Slight Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it in the episode.
Yeah.
I'll give you a link to his book. You should read it. The Slight Edge says simply this: Cody, what's easy to do is also easy not to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was easy for Prince to do, it could have been as easy as him just drafting a handwritten will, taking it to his bank and having it notarized and witnessed, which
Yeah.
we do
We do
every
it
day in our
in-house.
office with clients. And he would have had an executed will. At least he would have been able to say, I want my sister to get this. I want my cousins to get this. I want my managers and business people to do.
At minimum, it
XYZ.
would have been laid out
Right.
versus the mystery of,
Yeah,
yeah,
of the unknown.
exactly.
And so courts have to interpret what they know to be true
Mm-hmm.
based on law, based on the spine of the document that is the law.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you love it or hate it, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or just someone who hates the man,
Right.
if you live in the United States and you're a citizen of the United States, and then let's take it one step further. If you're part of a state and you're domiciled in a state, meaning you live in that state, Minnesota, AKA. If you're in the state of Minnesota, you have to follow the statutes, laws, and rules of Minnesota.
Right.
Whether it be criminal, civil, or anything in between. If you don't follow those rules, you're subject to the consequences of not following those rules.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Prince at a state level and a federal level is allegedly, and from the court documents and the things that we've researched,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't follow the rules of estate planning.
Mm-mm.
And his estate took a beating because of that.
Huge hit.
And then what do as Apollonia said, the thieves
Thieves
in the temple?
Yep.
Well, yeah, thieves in the temple. If you're not going to protect your temple,
You open it up for
You
thieves to
open-
come in.
right.
Yeah.
So as much as we love Prince, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry to use the word,
But
you-
you could have done something.
you fafoed.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
effed around and found out.
You found out Minnesota.
It-
yeah.
it-
The law.
In the afterworld,
Mm-hmm.
and you and Jesus up there having a conversation now going, you're here. We love you, but
But
you kind of screwed your family.
mm-hmm.
Unintended.
Yeah.
Unintentional and unintended consequences are the worst,
yeah.
because when you go back and look at those and you go, I could have done
Could
something
have
different.
done something. I think that's huge. Is like, thinking about it. If you don't know, the best thing you can do is find out, figure it out.
Yeah.
That way, you're not left in a situation where someone else is figuring it out for you, like the courts.
And we saw a lot of people to that point, Cody, that they said, well, he was Jehovah's Witness, he was this, he was that.
Right.
He had his reasons for not having an estate plan.
But he had access.
Yeah. Access and uber wealthy.
Access more than the average person probably would.
Right.
And he didn't take advantage of it.
So what can you and I learn from that?
Exactly. If that's
ahead.
the question,
Mm-hmm.
is I think personally for me, it's like, okay, I see what happened with Prince. Obviously, he had this massive estate, this big accumulation of wealth. He has all of this. But for me, I'm like, okay, even with what I have currently, I don't want, if something were to happen, I need to find out what I need to do to prevent that from happening in this stage of life. And I can always go and change it as things progress.
Who would you rather your assets go to? The federal government, the state, and the thieves in the temple? We'll pick on attorneys.
Right.
I got a very close friend, and I've got close friends who are attorneys. They're not thieves.
No.
But they are opportunists.
Yeah.
Attorneys look at the law, and they look at statutes, and they go, what opportunity do I see here? And if you give an attorney a $156 million estate, and some of you out there believe it was $350 million, every attorney, I'm burping bourbon now. Every attorney on the planet wants that estate to be $500 million,
100%.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they want it? Why would they settle for 156 if they could argue that they're going to make more money? So the argument was made on both sides, and I think the bank actually did a really good job of driving down the estate value, which led to an environment where the Internal Revenue Service didn't end up getting as much as they wanted.
Right.
But they still got the lion's share along with the other creditors and institutions because that's how the law works.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather have law than anarchy.
Right. But I would also rather have the law be on my side.
Right.
Which is what Prince didn't have. He didn't have the law on his side.
So I want to go back in a little history lesson here. The way that our society works right now, we're looked at as a constitutional republic at the federal level. And then in our Constitution, it says that states have certain powers to govern. And if you think back to monarchies, if you think back to where we came from,
right?
We can go all the way back to the Roman Empire. Then we can go from the Roman Empire. Guess who the Romans conquered? The English.
Yep.
The Anglicans.
Yep.
Right? And so we, in a monarchy, who sent us on, some of our folks on an expedition to come and colonize the states, this land, not the states, came states later.
Right.
But in that colonization, the 13 original colonies, and those of you, we're in Virginia, we're in like the birthplace
of America.
Yeah. Williamsburg is just 40 miles to our north.
Yeah. It's a little drive.
So our history, like my wife, she grew up in California.
Right.
She learned about the missions in California.
Yeah.
You know how much history she learned in high school as it related to Williamsburg, Jamestown, the original colonies?
I'd say probably a little.
0.
Yeah.
Not until she moved here did that become a thing in the education system.
Right.
And this is, I think, what happens with all the people. Jake, pull up if you can. Bring it up on the screen here and just let's look at some of these comments, Cody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And some of these comments, and I'm bringing it back to our founding fathers and the way things were set up.
Yeah.
Led to Minnesota winning in this argument.
Who's that guy? No, I'm just kidding.
He needs to lose a little weight. So, Bill Smith, 2936, I agree with you, man. I love Prince, too. And there's Apollonia, thieves in the temple. I couldn't agree more. The thieves were there, but he could have blocked them.
He could have prevented it.
He could have kept the thieves out of his temple, Apollonia.
What do we always say? We got to build the moat around the what is it?
The
palace
financial castle, yeah.
the castle.
So if you think about in medieval times, kings and queens of their castles, when they built these magnificent castles, they were fortified with walls. They were fortified with gunnels and I forget what, the watchtowers,
Right.
so that they could see their enemies approaching from all directions. We need to build castles around our assets. And those castles are things like estate plans.
Yeah.
They're the protection benefits. Nobody likes to think about one of their castle protection components is something as simple as car insurance.
I didn't even know that until I started working here. I
Right.
thought car insurance was just like, oh,
You got to
it's just
have
a
it. The
car.
state requires you to have it if you're going to drive.
Yeah, but after being here, I realized it plays a bigger factor than just my
Right.
car.
So we use some financial modeling in our firm, in our financial firm. We'll tell you about it real quick.
Yeah.
So I use a PS&G model. It's been around. A guy named Robert Castellone created this model in the 1980s. I adopted that model through mentorship. And it's a personal financial engineering model that looks at your protection components, your savings components, and your growth components.
Yeah.
The easy estate plan is get your protection components in right first. It's boring. It's not sexy, but it's the base of building and protecting your castle.
It's the foundation. You got to have a foundation. If
Right.
you got a cracked, uneven foundation, the rest of the castle starts falling apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to Prince. He may have had some car insurance. He may have had some homeowners. I don't know. I don't know all those details. I would think.
You
I
would
would hope.
You would hope.
As others hoped.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the things that he was forced to do, he probably did. I would guess he probably had some car insurance. He probably had that in place because someone said, well, you can't have a Bentley, you can't have I don't know what he drove or what his driver drove.
Right. Right. It's a Maybach.
But I would guess somebody said,
you got to have.
Hey, Prince, Mr. Nelson,
Mr. Nelson.
you got to have some car insurance.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's probably some of you out there going, F the system, man, I'm not buying any car insurance. Well, you do that, and you have an accident in Minnesota or in Virginia, all of your assets, whether it be gold, silver, cash, royalties on an album,
Yeah.
it's exposed to that liability.
Even so much so, correct me if I'm wrong, it's more of a question, even the house.
The house, right.
Yeah. That's all
Your
exposed.
house is exposed to how you drive.
Yeah, so the car insurance is the protection if you're
Right.
in a, vehicle accident against the rest of.
Three components of asset protection before we get into any fancy stuff like trust.
Right.
Car insurance, homeowners, liability insurance. Your car insurance, you should look at what your state minimums are that's required to have insurance in your state for a paid off car.
Right.
If you finance the car, there's going to be minimums that the bank and the state's going to have for you. So instead of thinking about it in minimum, think about it in maximum. What am I trying to protect myself from? Litigious people, people who want to sue, people who you might harm unintended or unintentionally.
Right.
So if that be the case, have enough car insurance based on your net worth. So there's a way to do that. I'm going to get to it in a second. It's called liability insurance or umbrella coverage. But if you own a home, or even if you rent a home, there's a liability portion to your car and your homeowners. The liability says, here's how much liability we're giving you, Cody, to protect you from yourself and hurting other people, or for someone who may want to sue you because they don't like the way you drove or crossed the lane. Or
Right. Or
you can sue anyone for pretty much anything in
Anything.
the United States.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be some legal dispute to that, and I'm not
we're
not an expert
We're not
there.
attorneys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hanging around with those guys for years, yeah, you can be exposed to your legal rights being taken from you through suit.
Right.
So car insurance, what we tell people is put yourself on the hook for the small things in life. That's the deductible, what you're going to come out of pocket to pay. So have high deductibles if you can afford to have high deductibles. Because if you can't, they're going to take it out in your premium anyway.
Exactly.
If you have low deductibles, your premium goes up. If you have high deductibles, your premium goes down, but now you're on the hook
For more.
for more.
Yeah.
If an occurrence of calamity happens or loss happens.
Right.
So you raise your deductible. That now is going to create savings. Use those savings instead of going and buying a cheeseburger with it. Use those savings to create more insurance.
Yep.
To buy more insurance from the insurance company. The man, who's taking money from. Yes, use the man for how they benefit you, not how you benefit the financial institution.
Exactly.
Put the institution on the hook for the big things in life. Put yourself on the hook for the small things in life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Homeowners insurance, renters insurance. Put the insurance company on the hook. Transfer the risk to them. Put yourself on the hook for the deductible.
Right.
And then if you have assets over $1 million, something really simple to do for about $150 a year on average across the board is to buy a liability policy or an umbrella policy.
Yeah.
So those are the base. And that umbrella policy usually is going to be issued in $1 million tranches.
Right.
So I tell my clients, even the high net worth ones, let's have a liability policy equal to 1 times your asset value. Ideal world. Not everybody's going to do it. Not everybody's
Right.
going to be in an ideal world. But in an ideal world, I would have 1 times my asset value in liability policies from my business to my personal assets.
Yeah. It just makes sense.
$100 a year for each of those millions.
Right.
Why wouldn't I do that?
It's a great protection.
Yeah.
It's
That's one-dimensional. Those types of insurances only do one thing, Cody. They protect your assets. Next under those, and you didn't know we was going to get into estate plan where we're going to go through the protection model today, but it makes sense because of what happened to Prince that we
Right.
should do this.
right.
So protect your assets. Now protect your assets and income.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in your 40s or lower, protecting your income from those things that have a high risk in your early 40s up to your 50s, disability being one of them, health issues being another. That can be done through medical insurance. It can be done through disability insurance. Insurance is by definition, is the transfer of risk. So any risk I want to transfer, I can go buy insurance to do that.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so what I'm talking about is the next phase of protection that Prince and you and I should consider is protecting your assets and your income.
Yeah.
You can do that through disability insurance. You can do that through medical insurance. You can do that through how you contribute to Social Security.
Yeah.
And they're, whoa, Social Security's not going to be there. Well, if you believe that, transition your plan and your strategies to meet that belief system.
Exactly.
I'm going to end with this thought right now, and we're going to come back to this. I've got to go into a client meeting.
Right.
And I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap up this podcast. But folks, what Prince did and what you could be doing is you could be allowing a belief system to drive a behavior, to drive an activity.
Yep.
Beliefs drive behaviors. Behaviors drive relationships. Relationships drive results. If you want great results in your life, you should look back at your behaviors, not your beliefs. I think all of us have really good core beliefs. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
Where I think it goes off the rails for most people is that their behaviors do not track their belief system. I believe Prince was well intended for his family. I think he thought about that. He wrote about it.
Yeah.
But he didn't act on it because procrastination killed his behavior.
That's the thing before we wrap is, if there's something to do about it now, why not do it?
Yeah.
Why not get it in place in case and change as it goes?
Take massive action.
You have to take action.
Yeah.
Otherwise what happened to Prince could happen to you, whether it's on that large of a scale or small of a scale.
The Slight Edge, go read it. That'll help you. And we'll come back to this in a bit.
Yep.
What's easy to do today is also easy not to do. What you postpone to tomorrow, it won't be that big of a deal today.
Right.
But you do that over and over and over again, and the consequences of that, you show up later in life going, ooh,
I
it
wish.
shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
Don't live in that space.
Why wish you did
Right.
back then? And, I mean, shameless plug is like, why not at least, at minimum, have a conversation with people that are willing to have a conversation with you about it? That's all it is.
You
It
put it in the
starts with a
universe.
conversation.
Right. You put it in the universe, something that you want.
Mhm.
When you start putting things in the universe and you start sharing with people desires and wants that you have in your heart, I desire to have a trust. I desire to have a will. I desire to put my estate in order. When you start verbalizing that and you put that frequency into the universe, God shows up and conspires for you,
Mhm.
not against you.
Exactly.
So when you start believing that way, when you start acting that way, and you start putting things out there that you want, people show up to say, Cody, I want to help you.
Exactly.
You shared with me a year ago, we're talking about your year anniversary. Hey, these are some things I want.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is you're sitting here today because two people conspired to help you activate a want.
I was going to say that exact same thing. Even just like our first meeting the day the day before my son was born,
Yeah.
we just had a meeting, and then I'm here working on the
Yeah.
Monday, and then different things happened, and we just had conversations, and then now here I am.
And here's the crazy thing. Bad things happen to good people.
Yeah.
Prince passed. That's horrible. That's bad. It's sad. But before that, he had an opportunity to make things right in his universe, in his world, from spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. That's why I tell people all the time, I sit with my kids, I sit with my family all the time, and I try to be really purposeful about this. When I walk out the door, or if I'm leaving or going somewhere, I tell those around me that I cherish and care for, I love you.
Yeah.
You may never get a chance to say that again. Just say it. Let that be the last
thing.
thought,
Mhm.
the last words.
Always.
And the greatest example of that love that Prince could have showed was just completing some legal documents.
Yeah.
It would have taken a little bit of time. So we'll come back.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right.
Wherever you reduce speed to 180.
Blackbox.